Well, good morning from a very hectic and a very loud Hanoi, specifically a market at 8 a.m. I'm here with James, who is right behind me, taking a photo. And this video will be about this lens. So the Fuji 90mm f2, and arguably a difficult focal length when you're shooting in such a tight space like in Hanoi. Even though I've made the video about this lens before, I've not talked about using it in these kinds of locations, which is exactly what I'll be doing in this video. It's sponsored by Squarespace, more on them later on. And let's start in this market, do a couple of laps and see if we can get anything. Well, that's a good find. A giant bit of orange colour. Excuse the rubbish everywhere. It'll be interesting to see if I can get something against this background. This will be a pretty interesting start. Now, this is a very graphic shot. What I might do though is split it down the middle like this, so you've got the green bit over there and the orange bit. I just need something which is... okay, I think this composition works. Got a lady coming down. No. Now this could work in portrait orientation. I just need someone with a traditional hat in the bottom right hand corner. So if you see bottom right hand corner, traditional hat, that would look really, really good. So here's a shot without anything in it, and something filling that bottom right, I think will balance things out really well. But it has to be something interesting and something not just a random silhouette. Ideally it has to be something bright to balance everything out. Well, this isn't exactly what I wanted. Also the subject's a bit too out of focus for me, but I'll have to go to f16 to get that slightly more in focus, which will then introduce diffraction, and I don't know. Yeah, not ideal, but to be fair, I'll take that. Could be worse. I just need something a bit more. That's it. If that lorry just moves out of the way, this would work so well. Come on. Come on. Now, come back. Come back. We've got the bridge in the back. Got the car. We've got different colors. You've got the blues and the reds. This really has potential, but I don't know, it just needs to, that lady needs to come back ideally. Look at that. Come on, come back. No, wrong person. I bet she'll come back when there's 10 million other things going on, as is always the case. All right, which way is he gonna go? Is he going to go left or right? So he's got the traditional army hat on. There we go. Perfect. That's what I wanted. It would have been cool if he was wearing a brighter t-shirt, because then he would have stood out a bit more. But again, that's not bad at all. So when I shoot with this lens, there are only 3 types of shots that I go for, because I know it's limited. So the first one is what I've just done now, which is find a long, straight road or street. It's James taking a shot, I'm not going to get in his way. And as you see that road, you find a subject at the bottom or a payoff, and then you shoot down that street and you let the compression create that gigantic kind of larger than life feeling. Another way is to go for abstract photos, so look for light, shapes, patterns, anything like that. And finally is to look for details that you physically can't get with a wider lens. So it could be someone's hands, it could be someone smoking and closer up of that, or anything on those lines. And when you add all of those things to a bigger body of work, let's just say, then it can add a whole different element to your photography. So for example, you probably remember this photo. I've posted it on Instagram the other day and I had it in a previous video. And obviously that was a much wider composition, but because I'm on this lens now, I can just get the details of the fabric, which again, on their own, you're probably thinking, why the hell are you taking that photo? But then when I have an album of all of these shots from this place, then having something, I mean, the bike is kind of getting in the way here, but you get the idea. Having something which can just add a whole other kind of level to the photo set is quite nice. And this man keeps following me. Oh, and that's the market now done. Gonna head back into the old town, shoot around there for a bit, and I think we'll probably call it a day around about lunchtime, because after that I just don't think the light is as nice as it is in the morning. But first we need to deal with this, which hopefully is not going to be too bad. Okay, that could have been much worse, to be honest. That was alright. I have to try and squeeze through some of it. Sorry. Which way do you want to go? Up the bridge? Yeah. Alright. So with a longer lens like this, I'll try and go for like simple compositions like that. Very minimal, very aesthetic. There's definitely no story or nothing particularly interesting to the shot, but in a photo set, you can probably get away with having something abstract and visual like that. Yeah, this lens really works for these kinds of compositions. Oh wow, one sec mate. This is cool. I know. With a longer lens like this, when you see mirrors on scooters, you can get some interesting shots, because obviously you can crop in a lot more. But I mean, in this particular location you might not find anything, but it's just the idea. I'll definitely come back to this. So here's an example of what I meant by the mirror photo. And in this particular case, it's okay. I mean, it's not going to win any awards, but if I look for these long enough, I'll definitely come up with something interesting. I'd like to take a moment and thank Squarespace for sponsoring this video. It's never been easier to start your own business, blog or YouTube channel and turn your hobby into an income. Squarespace offers the perfect all-in-one solution that is designed to take the headache and hassle out of the entire process. First and foremost, this is your website where you can showcase your product or service in a clean and professional way. Secondly, this is your online store where you can sell your products and services with powerful tools built in. Thirdly, this is your blog where you can write about your industry, therefore increase Google ranking. And there are many other built-in tools that allow you to create members areas, send newsletters, schedule appointments, and much more. Finally, this is all available on your laptop or in your pocket. Add powerful analytics and you have an ideal all-in-one package to run your business. For a free trial followed by 10% off your first purchase, please use the link in the description or use code RomanFox when you check out. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring, and thank you for watching. Now, the other thing that's worth keeping in mind is focusing, because there are a few challenges that come with this focal length compared to something a little bit wider. Now, it's worth remembering that focusing will take longer. There is a bigger piece of glass in there that has a longer distance to move. So if you're used to a 35, f2, for example, this will definitely take a little bit of getting used to. As for focus modes, unless you're specifically going to be tracking a moving subject, leave it in single point, because even though on a camera like this, continuous autofocus locks on and kind of stays locked on without major issues, you're still running the risk, especially when you're shooting at f2. And finally, keep in mind it'll be more difficult to have everything in focus, so if you typically pre-focus on a background and wait for something to come in, even if you're shooting at f8 or f11 as you saw earlier, you'll still have foreground subjects not perfectly in focus. Something to keep in mind. This is where you can find nice little details, like with the veg and stuff, but maybe I can do something with this tarpaulin. Oh, there we go. This could work. There's someone's hand there with the tarpaulin that can create a bit of an abstract shot. What I have noticed is within the context of street photography, this focal length definitely makes you more of a fisher than a hunter, because hunting with this lens is definitely a challenge. It's possible, I've got a few shots doing it, but yeah, fishing is a much more user-friendly approach to using this focal length. Maybe I'm just not experienced with it enough, but yeah. And the last piece of advice is all to do with where you look, because when you're shooting with wider lenses, you tend to just look all around you, but with this you can't, because if you do, you'll miss opportunities. You literally have to look way ahead and only look for small details and small things that you might be able to pick up with this. If you try to incorporate the whole scene, you're going to have a bit of a tough time. Also, if I sound a little bit stressed out filming this kind of video where I've been hit 1,000 times by 10 million scooters and noise is gets a bit much after a while. Well, that is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments. I am going to get some food and sit in peace and quiet and complete silence for the rest of the day to try and get rid of this headache that I've got. Like I say, Hanoi is amazing. It's one of the most incredible places I've been. It's just very full on, and I think it takes a while to adjust to it, but it's, yeah, incredible.